Are
Hmm.
you prepared to do the activities to close 7 or 8 extra transactions to have that moment with your dad? And she's like, get
Hmm.
out of my way. Yes.
Hmm.
Oh my. There we go. Now you're going to do it
Hmm.
because you understand what the money's for.
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
On learning everything Eric, this is the big challenge that we face with our audience, with the entrepreneurs, and we were discussing before the broadcast about the high failing of businesses out there. And the reason for that is exactly what you described. And by the way, I love your 5 steps. You see, 5 steps how to get to a million is it's just about breaking your ceiling, about what money means and change. I've been there, yeah. I've been
Mm.
there. I was turning over a quarter million for three years. 3 years until we find for a quarter million to have a million. So exactly what you describing.
Yeah, I talk to salespeople all the
Everyone,
time.
everyone, no, in the business, you see, you start to do a business and then you making some money and don't get me wrong, I did expand the company, but when I expanded so fast that the company was bigger, but it brought a lot of overhead. Sometimes when you expand too fast, so at the end of the day, we end up with more problems and making the same money. Just in the larger scale until we finally manage to expand more, and then we break the 500,000. But like I'm telling you, even I did something different, and and I end up with the same quarter million. So the point of the story, Eddie, that I want to ask you is we have somebody, for example, entrepreneurs that they have 0 to 100,000 and 0 to a quarter million. That exactly as you said, I met them myself, 10 years, 15 years, their whole life
Mm.
turning over a quarter million, turning over a quarter million, turning over a quarter million. Then they go Monday to Sunday to the business, and they trying to get out of there. And this has become worse than a job because you have to pay your employees, and you're making very little money. And what's the point to do the whole thing on the first place? And those entrepreneurs are so exhausted that they don't have time to speak with the family, with the wife. It's a big chaos at home. So, what message do you have for those entrepreneurs that somehow they don't believe that it's possible, that the ceiling and what they're making, um, this actually can change? Or maybe they need someone like you to go and share with them and say, listen, the way that you have your business right now in the form that it is right now, you will never be able to break that ceiling, and something had to change, right? So what message do you have for entrepreneurs listening that they are stuck in whatever bar? It could be 500,000, could be 1 million, could be 10 million. Because like I've been there, like I saw, I was 3 years with a quarter million myself, Harry. So I know exactly what you're talking about until you finally break through. But something needs to happen. Sometimes, I don't know, people get scared. So what message do you have?
Well, the first thing I would say is, like, why do you want what you want? Right? And that was the purpose of writing my book, The Why of Money, right? Why do you want the money? Entrepreneurs can do it with themselves. So I'll use me as an example, right?
Mm-hmm.
So growing up, my dad told me over and over that I would never amount to what he accomplished. No matter what,
Wow, you see,
I,
you're
w-
in
I,
the
wa- I
different
wasn't
ball
good. I
game.
wasn't good enough
Mm-hmm.
to achieve what he achieved, right? My
Mm-hmm.
whole childhood.
And he
And
was an
so,
entrepreneur, right?
correct.
There you
And
go.
so
Mm. Interesting.
unconsciously, that drove me for 30 years to beat him. And I
Mm.
did. It was 2017 was when I finally beat him. Now he doesn't know that I beat him, right? He wasn't there. I haven't spoken to him for about 20 years. That's my baggage, right? But that drove my activities for 30 years. But then I achieved it, and so it collapsed. So then I replaced it with honoring my grandfather, who I was very close to, and honoring his teachings. So now it's about legacy and creating as many millionaires as I can to honor my grandfather.
Oh, wow, that's really, really powerful.
And so when someone can tap into what's really driving their activities, and it's never money, ever, never one time.
100%.
Okay.
Like,
And so
listen.
and so for the listeners, if you're trying to make money for the sake of making money so you can make more money, then you're always going to struggle. You're always going to struggle. If so, I'll tell you one of my favorite stories, and the reason I went down the road of a sports facility, right? Because
Mhm.
and it doesn't need to resonate with everybody. Everybody's got their own reasons and why and et cetera, right? But I had a real estate agent that I spoke to a few months ago, and she was asking me questions about her why. And she was talking about, building wealth and making money. And I was like, no, 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 no. Right. And she had an accent. I said, where's your accent from? She said, Ecuador. I said, okay. And how did you get to the United States? And she said, oh, I came with my two sisters and my dad. I said, oh, was it easy? It's like, no, it was my dad to get us here was the worst. Like, I can't even talk about it. It was so bad to get us here, like what he went through. And I said, okay. And he's still around? Yeah, he's still around. It's like, oh, have you honored him? And she's like, what do you mean? I said, well, here's one possible example. And I talked to her about like going back to Ecuador. What school did he go to? um, Building a sports facility, soccer field, sports facility attached to the school, putting his name up, having the mayor and the principal and the teachers and the kids and getting a private jet, flying him down and your sisters and your whole family and having this unveiling and then when they unveil and he looks up and sees his name in permanent lights, right, in the town he grew up at the school he went to, and then you get to turn to him and I get a little choked up, and then you turn to him and you say, I needed you to know that what you went through was worth it. And she is sobbing, like just absolutely tears streaming down her face. I said, okay, so now what does that cost? Right? So I don't know, 100,000, 150,000 to build and get your family down there and do the unveiling, roughly. It's Ecuador. Like I can't imagine it's that expensive, right? It's grass, a fence, right? For
Mhm.
a soccer field. Like it's not that expensive to build something like this. And so, okay, 150, you're a real estate agent, you're in California, you're talking about seven or eight extra transactions.
Mhm.
Seven or eight. That's all this is. Are
Mhm.
you prepared to do the activities to close seven or eight extra transactions to have that moment with your dad? And she's like, get
Mhm.
out of my way. Yes.
Mhm.
Oh my, there we go. Now you're gonna do it.
Mhm.
Because you understand what the money's for. Right? And so she is a prospecting fiend now.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.